everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be creating a fairy garden inspired nail set using the Bornpretty X Jelly gels. Now I did do a swatch video in my last one, so do check that out. I'll put a link in the description box. So I'm going to be using foils, and oh, these glitters are just gorgeous. So they just remind me of mystical fairies and all those kind of things. So yeah, and just a little side note, I am doing a lot of line work today. But foolishly I had a coffee before doing it, so they are a bit squiggly and shaky, but at the end I do clean those up. So yeah, I will leave you to enjoy. I will also leave up a discount code as well for the Bornpretty gel, so you get 10% off your order. So yeah, do check out their website and have a little look at these, because there's so many different colours and variations in the collection. So yeah, enjoy that guys, do check them out, and I will speak to you soon. what do you think, guys? Aren't they so pretty? I just thought the pop of nude in there would work really well, but those greens really make those floral kind of patterns pop, and I'm just adding some bows there. So pretty. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much to Bornpretty for sending these gels to me. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.